How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another Wakai Kami production, where today we're going to bring you guys a pretty awesome review on Attack on Titan. Now, this week's episode is actually called Close Combat, and ladies and gentlemen, that is actually a very, very good title for this episode. Close Combat, Eren and Reiner, they go at it. I will say that, they go at it, and this is a highly anticipated episode because the cliffhanger that we were left on for the last episode was, let's just say it was a huge one. It was one that had me on the edge of my seat all week. As a matter of fact, man, the cliffhanger was it was so bad, man. I decided I couldn't wait. I just started reading the manga. And originally, like I said in my past reviews, I hadn't actually read the Attack on Titan manga before. I just read I started watching it on Netflix, and I was an anime guy, so I just watched the anime and waited for season 2 to come out. But season 2 has been so phenomenal in just the way that it's been executed that I had to read the manga to go further. So let's just go ahead and start with a synopsis, I guess, of last week's episode, which was fantastic. Last week's episode was one of the best episodes of anime I've seen in a long time. Artistically, stylistically, music, tone, just the information, how it was given out, just everything about it was artistically done. It was beautiful, and I just want to praise that episode. I just can't praise it enough. Essentially, what happened in the last episode is Reiner went ahead and spilled the beans and told Eren that, hey, me and Bertholdt, I myself am the Armor Titan, and Bertholdt is the Colossal Titan. And Mikasa was also listening, and as you can see, she heard and chopped them boys up, as she should have. She tried to kill both of them by decapitating them, but unfortunately she wasn't able to do so. She was just able to wound them, but as you know, when Titans are wounded, that is when the transformation can begin. And one of the most epic scenes that I've seen in a long time, we get to see Reiner and Bertholdt transform into their Titan forms, and the music, the art, dude, the animation, just everything came together in this one moment and made it one of the most incredible scenes that I've seen in a long time. So I just have to give credit where credit is due. That's amazing. That scene there is one I've watched it so many times, and just to see what was going on, incredible. So that last episode ends with a rather mean, I would say, cliffhanger, a scandalous cliffhanger. We get to see Eren transforming in a Titan form, yelling, "You damn traitors," biting himself, getting ready to go, and he cocks back a nasty punch, and he's getting ready to give it to Reiner, who is the Colossal Titan. And of course, spoilers, but if you're watching this, more than likely you've seen the last episode. It was a pretty big deal. So that's how the last episode actually ends. So huge cliffhanger, huge cliffhanger. So as the episode starts, that's exactly where we leave off. We get a little flashback of Reiner and Bertholdt talking to Armin and Eren, but essentially it starts with the fight continuing from where it left off, except we actually get to see the scouts. Now we get to see the scouts engage the Colossal Titan, and the scouts are led by Hanji. I love her, dude. Like, at first I didn't know for a long time if she was a boy or a girl. I assumed she was a girl, but I love her. We get to see her and the scouts engage the Colossal Titan, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it pretty much comes to a standoff, essentially, seeing as how they can't get close enough to the Colossal Titan because he can let off extreme amounts of heat that stops them from essentially getting close and stops their 3D maneuver gear from working. And then, so that's pretty much all we get with them, a stalemate. They're just waiting, but we get to see the meat of the episode, which is Eren versus Reiner. Eren's Titan, the Hybrid Titan, versus the Colossal Titan, or excuse me, the Armor Titan. Let me just tell you something right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is a fight that we have been waiting on for a long time. I mean, it's been foreshadowed in Attack on Titan for so long. We knew as soon as that man came through and busted those walls and let the Titans in the travesty that happened in the first season, we knew that Eren, once he got his Titan powers, was gonna go toe to toe with this man. Now, the fight, I predicted last week that Eren was gonna get smashed. It happens in the beginning of the fight. I mean, to be pretty frank, man, Eren gets mollywopped in the beginning of the fight. He can't stand up to the Armor Titan, dude. He's too strong. Reiner kind of kind of lied about his fight. Well, when they used to train, there's a little flashback that they show where Reiner is getting beaten by Aaron actually, but it turns out Reiner was definitely holding back. He gives this man the work. I mean, he breaks his face, dude, like literally breaks his face. And I mean, it's kind of sad, really. Aaron's just getting beaten. He can't do anything because the armor titan skin is literally armor, man. He can't break through it with his regular fist. And on top of that, man, he's strong. You know what I mean? He's punching him with armor fists. Every time he punches Aaron, Aaron's face is getting like destroyed, man. The gore is pretty nasty, to be completely honest. Mikasa though is an awesome addition to this episode because she's fighting the armor titan along with Aaron, and she's trying her best, but her blades can't actually get through the armor titan's skin. So she's trying to cut him and she's maneuvering, but you know, essentially though, something cool, we actually go back to a flashback with Annie because Aaron's getting pounded, and while he's getting pounded by the armor titan, he thinks back to Annie and one of the fights that they had back when they were doing hand-to-hand combat training. And Annie, as you guys know, was really good at hand-to-hand combat, and it's essentially what the flashback is she slams like Aaron to the ground. Dude, Aaron can't do anything with her even though he's stronger. And what she proceeds to tell Aaron is that no matter like how strong you are, you know, I know techniques to redirect your strength against you, and you can't beat me for that reason. You need special training to understand that strength is not everything to a fight. You know, and the good thing and the poignant thing about this flashback is that it applies to what's going on now. Now we get a really cool moment with Annie and Mikasa, because Mikasa throws Reiner on top of Aaron while he's laying on the ground and asks Annie to try that move on her, essentially challenging her to a fight. Now that's the two most badass females at the time challenging each other to a one-on-one fist fight. Unfortunately though, we do not actually get to see the fight. It's just shown that they actually did have the fight. Everybody's hyping, betting and everything, but let's move on. Aaron and then gets a new flame of invigoration lit inside of himself because he realizes that there's more ways to just punch people in the face. And finally he realizes you can do something else than just throw your fist at somebody as hard as you can. He remembers back to the fight with Annie, grapples the hell out of the colossal titan and slams them down into the ground. Awesome series of events. It was, when I saw it happen, I got real hyped because it looked like some crazy stuff you see on MMA. You know what I mean? If you watch MMA, you know how people get down and all the grapple techniques, and you might not be a fan of grapple. That one right there is that's a technique he used. And all these are actually techniques that I believe that Aaron was actually grappling Reiner with in order to beat him. He used his strength to his advantage, and Reiner could not break out of the grapples. That grapple in particular is the one that Aaron exposed Reiner's neck. And that was the end of the fight until from the sky came the colossal titan. So Aaron turned it all around, and Bertholdt saw that Reiner was in deep trouble, you know, so he falls from the sky. And we don't actually get to see anything after that. That is the cliffhanger for this episode. Crazy. It was a good episode. The fight was pretty good, and the cliffhanger, I'm kind of sick of the cliffhangers at this point in time, but overall, was the episode good? If you're into action, yeah, the episode was good, and it was cool, you know, to have another flashback and to see Annie. So next week's episode is actually called The Hunters, because it seems as though Aaron is captured, unfortunately, and the scouts need to track him down because Reiner and Bertholdt have taken him supposedly to their hometown. So thank you guys. Like and subscribe if you like the review. Thank you. Have a good day.